meeting is also being live streamed, a recording of which is available on the Shire's YouTube channel and website. Members of the public are advised that anyone who has any application lodged with the Shire v Pilbara must obtain and should only rely on the written confirmation of the outcomes of the application and any conditions attaching to the decision made by the Shire v Pilbara in respect of the application. Okay, cool. Attendance by electronic means. So request to attend the meeting by electronic means has been received from Councillor Lee Anderson, Councillor Peter Bear and Councillor Milton Chapman, which are approved by me as Shire President presiding this meeting in accordance with Regulation 14C of the Local Government Administration Regulations of 1996. 3.1 is the record of attendance, apologies and leave of absence. Item 4, disclosure of interest. Are there any disclosure of interest to be made in relation to any of today's agenda items, council members or staff?
Can't hear anybody.
Sorry, can you hear us now? Yes?
Yep, yes. Can hear you now, yep.
Oh, why is that echoing?
Not too sure. Right. Sorry, is there any declarations of interest? Nope. Okay, item 5, declarations by council members to have given due consideration. I'll go through the list. Councillor McWhirter-Brooks.
I have given due consideration of all the matters contained in the business papers.
Councillor Anderson. You're on mute.
Mike's off, Lee.
I've given due consideration to all the business matters contained in these papers before this meeting.
Thank you, Councillor Everett.
I've given due consideration to all matters contained in the business papers before this meeting.
Thank you, Councillor Chapman. You're on mute. We'll come back. Councillor Bear.
I've given due consideration to all matters contained in the business papers before this meeting.
Thank you, Councillor Landy. Go. Thank you, Councillor Lockyer.
I've given due consideration to all matters contained in the business papers before the meeting.
Councillor Cooler.
I've given due consideration to all matters contained in the business papers before the meeting.
Councillor Chapman, you just need to come off mute. You're on mute. Councillor Chapman. Okay. I've given due consideration to all matters contained in the business papers before this meeting. We'll move on and we'll... Right, hang on, Josh is coming. Okay. Yep. Good.
Oh, we can hear you now.
Excellent, thank you. If Councillor Chapman can just do the declaration on the screen, please.
Good now, Milton.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, can you give the declaration on the screen that you've given due consideration, please?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Item 6, response to previous questions taken on notice is nil. Item 7, public question time. If there is a request to ask a question, please come forward to the microphone and clearly state your name and the town you are from for the minutes. You may ask 3 questions, and if there are no further questions from the public, then you may put further questions to council. Does anybody wish to ask a question? Thank you. Moving on to item 8, petitions, deputations and presentations. Main Roads WA has requested the opportunity to provide a deposition for the Marble Bar Road upgrade. The deputation will serve to provide an update on work completed since the council briefing on Wednesday 13/8/2025. A key focus will be on Reserve 2804 and Nullagine Townsite Sale Springs Road, TIP site and the Bypass Road. The Acting Managing Director of Main Roads, Des Snook, and Scott Buckingham, Acting Director, Pilbara Region, will deliver this deputation to council on behalf behalf of Main Roads. Des is joining us on Teams and Scott is here in person. Welcome, Des and Scott. Please come to the microphone. You are more than welcome to speak for 10 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, good morning and thank you, Shire President, Vice President and elected members of Council for letting me speak today on behalf of Main Roads and regarding the Marble Bar Road project. This is a really important project for not only the region but also the state, and Main Roads has spent decades in terms of the planning for the road upgrade, and over time we've been able to attract small pieces of funding to get this road upgraded, and this opportunity that we have now with us to upgrade a significant portion of Marble Bar Road in, I guess, conjunction with Hanroy from the mining industry. Is really important. And so today I'd like to take the opportunity just to alleviate any concerns that the Council have, and from last week when we had a bit of a briefing on it, kind of cover off on those key issues and what we've done in the last week to work through that. Just on the next slide. So just a quick background on the project. So Marble Bar Road is a critical link connecting towns, communities and pastoral stations, as well as tourism and industry. We've had several projects in the pipeline waiting for funding. We executed a study coordination agreement with Hancock Group back in August 2020, which had allowed us to put together a range of information that Main Roads have been working on, as well as trying to achieve the upgrade of the project for the carting of iron ore between the McPhee Creek mine and the existing Roy Hill mine. Then Main Roads last year in August entered into a design, funding, construction and maintenance deed, which allowed the road to be upgraded through Hancock Group. Without this significant investment, I guess from Hanroy or Hancock, the road would not be able to be upgraded and would remain unsealed for the, I guess, considerable future. And it's, I guess, critical that we support Hanroy's investment in this public infrastructure by being able to continue the construction works, and that's the critical topic today around Reserve 2804. Next slide. So just in terms of a project overview, the project is upgrading 100 kilometres of Marble Bar Road between the Roy Hill mine and the McPhee Creek mine, which is about 30 kilometres north of Nullagine. The construction commenced in September 2024 on packages 2A, which is 15 kilometres closest to the Roy Hill mine, and then the stage 3, which is just the 30 kilometres south of Nullagine. Project proposal is that it will then transport iron ore from the McPhee Creek mine to Roy Hill, and one of the key pieces is the Nullagine bypass. In terms of the project benefits on the next slide, really it's the economic benefits to the region and the state through improved access to the area for this project, but potentially future projects, as well as hopefully leading to the diversification of the area from tourism and also future industry. Obviously, another key element is road safety. We're sealing the road. It'll be 2 3.5 metre lanes with 2 1.5 metre shoulders on either side, as well as improved vertical and horizontal geometry. A key thing is also the long-term legacy. This road will last well beyond the life of the mine. And just on the photos there, so the photo at the top right is of the road, obviously after rains, and the bottom right photo is the road, the first 9 kilometres that was just sealed about 3 weeks ago, so key milestone for the project. So on the next slide is, I guess, one of the key things I want to talk about today is the Nullagine bypass and the impact on Reserve 2804. I guess extensive consultation has gone into producing this alignment with the traditional owners in the area, the Balgu people, and it was quite a a tricky location because it's very sensitive areas that we needed to navigate. So there wasn't a lot of room to move in terms of crossing this area. So it's roughly a 7 to 8 kilometre bypass road. There's 3 modified T intersections onto the route. The Nullagine River has a constructed floodway, which will be touched on the next slide, and there's also a modification to the tip in Nullagine. So on the next slides, the Nullagine bypass in terms of the floodway components, there's the 2 main waterway crossings through the river, as well as a improved pavement and alignment into the river. So the 2 elevated causeways are box culverts through, allowing water to flow under the road for a 1 in, I believe, 10-year event, and which will significantly improve the serviceability of that road. On the next slide, in terms of one of the topics that was raised last week was the tie into the Nullagine town site. So a bit of an oversight on the project was missing a 300-metre portion on the northern side and a 700-metre portion on the southern side. So that's now being confirmed as part of the project and will be included and upgraded. So there will be no remaining unsealed portion of road going into Nullagine. So that's obviously a change we've made since last week, and thanks for your consultation on that. On the next slide, the Skull Springs Road. So again, the proposal was originally to close a portion of the Skull Springs Road that was coming into this due to the alignment. That wasn't, I guess, favoured by council when we spoke last week, and so Main Roads is committed to working with the Shire of East Pilbara to produce a solution that's I guess, amenable to everyone. That will take some design work. We'll again have to do some heritage work and some enviro surveys, as well as look at the geometry, but Main Roads is committed to making sure that that alignment is suitable to all parties before that project's complete. So again, that's another change that we will work through together to get that outcome. With the Nullagine tip site, as I mentioned, it was quite a tight alignment to get through here. On the next slide, please. There's been 25 test pit holes to determine in terms of the area that we're going that we aren't going to impact any waste, which was confirmed. The other thing we've done is normally Main Roads will go for a 200-metre road reserve in remote rural areas. In this case, we're reducing it to 100 metres, and in this particular case, we're avoiding as much of the tip area as possible so that that allows for expansion for the Shire in the future. And you can see that by the yellow cutout line on the map that's shown in the top right. So we're trying to minimise impact to that tip site and allow the Shire to use that for as long as possible. And we're also, for 100 metres on either side of the tip site, making sure that we're responsible for managing that area in terms of any stability of the batters into the future. On the next site, one of the other key topics was around the stability of the Nullagine tip and the batter. So for that area, we'll be looking at stabilising it with a geolink or similar product, which has been very successful in the Port Hedland area that we've done on a number of bridges around there. And that's key. If you drive through there, you'll see scouring next to it and not through there. So it definitely works. And that's just a schematic on the bottom left of what it will look like. I'll now hand over to the Acting Managing Director, Des Nook, to talk through the next slide regarding the legal agreements that Main Roads will put in place.
Thanks, Scott, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to Council. Scott's described a number of commitments that Main Roads has made regarding the tip and obligations that we will have on that, and so all of the obligations to the tip, the Skull Springs Road, and other matters that the Shire has required Main Roads to do. We've documented all of those in legal agreements. They are legally binding agreements on Main Roads to make sure that the Shire has the confidence that Main Roads will deliver on what we promised. I'd like to thank the Shire for their help in preparing those. The Shire's legal and governance teams have been very, very helpful for us as we've documented all of those requirements. So we've emailed a copy of that document to the Shire, and I've signed in the main road section on that. So that document is now with the Shire. So thank you for that, and happy to take any questions.
Thanks, Des and Scott. Is there any questions from councillors? It's a deputation, so we'll move straight on.
I'll just quickly, so there was 2 more slides very briefly. So just regarding the next slide on authorisations and approvals, so Main Roads has received all authorisations in terms of environment, heritage and land access for all areas except for Reserve 2804. And on the last slide, in terms of the time frame and urgency, so all contracts have been awarded for the project except for stage 4. And I guess it is critical that the works do get underway prior to wet season so we can get the floodway constructed and as much work completed before delays. I guess any delays will in award will push us into next year, which means if we don't start until after wet season, we're looking at, I guess, disruption on the Marble Bar Road until the end of 2026 instead of finishing, you know, in probably Q2. So, yeah, thank you for your time and...
Excellent. Thanks, Scott, and thanks, Des Online. Really appreciate it, and thanks for the consideration around the points raised by Council the information session a couple of weeks ago. We'll move right on. Item 9 is applications for leave of absence. So is there any applications for leave of absence for any council members? Nope. Okay. Item 10, the confirmation of minutes from the previous council meeting. So the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on 25 July 2025 have been circulated and published on the Shire's website. And the recommendation reads the ordinary and confidential minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on 25 July 2025 was published on the Shire's website, and council report will be confirmed as true and correct record of proceedings. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Brooks, thank you. Seconder? Councillor Everett, thank you. Are there any other changes that council members will be seeking? Should I put this to vote, please? All those in favour, show of hands, thank you. All in the chambers, and thank you online, all 3, all 4 and none against. It's carried. Rolling on to item 11, members' reports. So council members' written reports will be included in the minutes. Are there any further members' reports for today's meeting?
Yep.
Councillor, yes?
Yep, I've sent a report to Sally, which I just only did this morning, but I just wanted to make mention of last month I attended the Yule River Call to Action, and there were a number of items that were discussed there that was really relevant to our region, and it's mentioned in the report the number of headings and items that were discussed and what their sort of outcomes that they're leaning towards as a collective. But I just wanted to point out that what my ask will be is that we take on this, we'll review the reports once they've come out with the official.
Yeah, talk to Kim. Where's Nathan's there? Sorry, later.
I'll wait. Yeah, and just there's a couple of things that I probably want us to take into account as a local government is that we demonstrate the leadership and linking to our reconciliation. So to initiate a collaborative action plan by bringing together our Pilbara local governments. So right at this moment, there has been no local government sort of reference in this working group, so it'll be really good if Shire of East Pilbara could be considered as taking on a response to that, and even inviting the working group here to do maybe a workshop with our Shire of East Pilbara council, but also residents. There's also a suggestion that maybe we could allocate funding or technical professional roles like project management, or helping collaborate with those ACCOs within our region to help the capacity building as they work through some of these priorities, which also link to our closing the gap reforms as well. So it's sort of linked in there. And also if we could look at, how we work and collaborate maybe with meeting and engagement spaces for ACCOs when they do have these sort of discussions. I know we do have some really good relationships, but outside of Marty Millie KJ, there are a number of regional aspects that we could probably link into. And I think it was recognised that the call to action is very, it's Pilbara specific for Yule River, but there is no central or Western Desert sort of input, and we could be that conduit into that because of our relationships with our Western Desert communities, and that is very important to the working group itself. So yeah, that's all.
Happy to read through your report and maybe get some more details around context and how we go about achieving some of those things that you mentioned.
Thank you. Councillor Brooks.
Yeah, can I just add on to just say to Lou, if there's anywhere that you can see that the collaboration of our 4 Shire council, 4 local government authorities within the zone of the Pilbara can work together as a local government on some of those outcomes, then that may be a forum that we can utilise. So, and that's certainly, you know, an opening for us to send that through the zone from this council. Just immediately in the last 2 weeks, I did attend the Transport and Roads Forum that Welga had in Perth, and then immediately after that I attended the chairs of Pilbara Regional Roads Groups that was held by Welga at the Welga office the day after the Transport and Roads Forum. That was very valuable in that it gave a clear message to Kevin Pethick, who's the budget man with roads, about our regional road funding. Across our local governments, we've improved on the way we are spending our roads. The message I gave was that in the East Pilbara and in the Pilbara, we have shovel-ready projects. So if there's anywhere else in the Shire that cannot spend out of that regional road budget, we are willing and able to do that as the engine room of Australia. The message I got back was very clearly that Main Roads are encouraging all local governments to have more projects themselves that are shovel ready. So there's certainly an ask for more money for roads. So that was a good outcome that we got out of that, and certainly to get a better flavour of what was going on in our roads space. We've had our zone meeting the day before yesterday. There's good collaboration happening between our COGS group, which has been very useful. And again, there was another call to more action on roads as the essential infrastructure to keep the economic development going across our whole zone. So that was important. We had to that meeting, we had the Welga President and the Welga Deputy President, Karen Chappell and Paul Kelly, attending that meeting. So the Pilbara zone certainly has a good ear of Welga and the Welga executive, where there's things that we are doing. They recognise what Steve is doing in the and Anthony and the team are busy doing in that recovery space, trying to get our recovery model modified as well. So yeah, just a bit of an update from some of the stuff I've been up to.
Thanks, Councillor Lockyer. Thanks, Councillor Brooks. Any others? Excellent. Move on to 12.1.1, the policy review, Council's insurance cover policy, where the recommendation reads that Council accepts a review of the Council insurance cover policy and adopts a revised and renamed Council member insurance cover policy attached as Appendix 1. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Lockyer, thank you. And a seconder, Councillor Brooks, thank you. Would the mover like to speak? Seconder?
Nothing to add.
Anybody else wish to speak? Thank you. Show of hands. Put that to a vote. All those in favour? And online? Thank you. All for and none against. 12.1.2, the new policy, Whistleblower Public Interest Disclosure Act policy. Please note a number of minor corrections have been made to the public interest disclosure guidelines, which have been updated in your agendas. The officer's recommendation now reads: the council, 1, adopts a whistleblower public interest disclosures act policy attached as Appendix 1. 2, notes the Chief Executive Officer is responsible for the preparation and publication of public interest disclosure guidelines in accordance with Section 23(1)(e) of the Public Interest Disclosure Act 2003. And 3, endorses the reviewed public interest disclosure guidelines attached as Appendix 2 and recommends them for adoption by the Chief Executive Officer. A mover, please. Councillor Cooler, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Lockyer. Would the mover like to speak?
Nothing to add, thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Lockyer. Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? All those in favour, please, show of hands. Thank you. All for, none against.
Yeah,
12.1.3. The policy review, fraud and corruption control policy. Again, another number of minor corrections have been made to the draft fraud and corruption control policy, which has been updated in your agendas. Officer's recommendation reads that council accepts the review and adopts the revised fraud and corruption control policy attached as Appendix 1. Mover, please. Councillor Guetta-Brooks. Seconder. Councillor Lockyer, thank you. Mover, wish to speak? No. Seconder? Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? Show of hands, please. All those in favour? Thank you. All for and none against. 12.1.4, the status of council decisions, where the recommendation reads that council notes the report. Mover, please. Councillor Guetta-Brooks. Seconder. Councillor Everett. Councillor Guetta-Brooks, you wish to speak?
Nothing to add.
Councillor Everett.
Nothing to add.
Anybody else? Show of hands, please. All those in favour? Councillor Bear, you in favour? Thank you. All for, none against. 12.2.1, carry forwards from 2024-25 to current financial year, where the officer's recommendation reads that council, 1, accepts the proposed carry forwards of $2,451,944 in project expenditure and $105,923 in project income for 2024-25 projects not completed by 30 June 2025. And 2, pursuant to 6.0 of the Local Government Act 1995, amends the 2025-26 annual budget to reflect these carry forwards. This is an absolute majority decision, but I need a mover, please, to progress. Councillor Guetta-Brooks, thank you. Seconder. Councillor Lockyer. Councillor Guetta-Brooks. Councillor Guetta-Brooks.
To add.
Thank you. Seconder. Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? Those in favour, please. Show of hands. Thank you. All for, none against. 12.2.2, the monthly financial statements, insurance and investment report as 31 July 2025, where the recommendation reads that council adopts the monthly financial statements for the period ending 31 July 2025 of the 2025-2026 financial year, included as appendices 1 and 2 to the report. Mover, please. Councillor Guetta-Brooks, thank you. Seconder. Councillor Everett. Mover, you wish to speak?
No, thank you.
Seconder.
No, thank you.
Anybody else wish to speak? Show of hands, please. Those in favour? All for, none against. The item is carried. 12.2.3, the list of accounts month ending 31 July 2025. The council endorses the following payments for the period of 1 to 31 July 2025, itemised in the confidential appendix 1. EFT payments $11,637,264.63. MasterCard $17,089.66. Cheque payments $264.85. Direct payments $161,250.94. Get a mover, please. Councillor Guetta-Brooks, thank you. Seconder. Councillor Landy. Mover, you wish to speak?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Seconder, do you wish to speak?
Nothing to add.
Anybody else? Thank you. Now, show of hands, please. All those in favour? Thank you. All for and none against.
Work is also when she was like her work 17. Yeah.
Just want to put in my notifications would be for the publishing purposes. So, noting minor.
Okay, that was an addition. Righto. 12.3.1. Okay. The recommendation has been amended. The Youth Plan 2025 to 2030. So the recommendation reads that Council 1 endorses the Youth Plan 2025-2030 attached as Appendix 1, noting minor modifications will be completed prior to publishing. 2, notes the community engagement report included in Appendix 1. 3, notes the youth profile and Pilbara at a glance profile as Appendices 2 and 3, and notes the literature review attached as Appendix 4. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Bear, thank you. Seconder? Yep, Councillor Cooler. Councillor Bear, you wish to speak?
Yep, I just wanted to acknowledge that I sort of combed through this line by line, and I am overall really, really impressed. I would like to commend the team for the level of detail and the amount of, clear passion that went into that. This is probably the best report plan that I have seen in my 4 years on council. So well done to Nicole and the team and the rest of the staff that worked on it. And I think it's got really, really solid work put into it. So thank you for that, guys.
Thanks for the feedback. Councillor Cooler.
I support Councillor Bear's comments. I think it's a job well done.
Anybody else wish to speak? Thank you. All right, we'll put 12.3.1 to the vote. All those in favour, please. Thank you. All for and none against. It is carried. Uh, 12.3.2, where the recommendation has been updated. So the Officer's recommendation reads that Council 1 adopts a public health plan as per Appendix 1, noting minor modifications will be completed prior to publishing, and 2, notes the community engagement report as Appendix 2. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Lockyer, thank you. Seconder? Councillor Bear, thank you. Councillor Lockyer, you wish to speak?
No, I just wanted to ask, with the reports, will they be circulated outside of, them being posted in the council minutes and that?
It's a public document. So it's a public document.
Yeah.
So it will be for all to see.
No, thank you. I mean, good engagement with community. I guess it will help them understand what our play in health and other services availabilities is. But yeah, I think they get the idea that advocacy is where we're best placed. So yeah.
Thank you. Councillor Bears, a second. You got any comments?
Yeah, well, this one is not as pretty. Nicole and the team have already identified that there will be some really nice community engagement pieces that will go out to summarise the information in it, because it is a very long document with a lot of hefty information, but it is done very well. So I also wanted to comment on that and also acknowledge the really holistic approach to public health and wellbeing. And as Lou said, really drilling down for the community exactly what Shire's role is in public health, and giving us some clear direction in terms of how the Shire and the administration work, but also how the community can collaborate in that space as well. So again, a job well done.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? Show of hands, please. All those in favour? Thank you. Item is carried. All for and none against. 12.3.3, the policy review social media policy, where the officer's recommendation reads that Council 1 accepts the review and adopts the revised social media policy attached as Appendix 1, and 2 revokes the existing social media policy attached as Appendix 2. Mover, please. Councillor Bear, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Guerra Brooks. Councillor Bear, you wish to speak?
Yeah, I'm happy with the policy and the minor adjustments that were made to it. But I did want to comment that I would like to see us investigate alongside the social media policy, which is obviously in terms of code of conduct and usage for staff, contractors and elected members, but perhaps maybe a social media strategy, because at the moment I feel that we are utilising our Facebook page with a lot of posts and information, and as some councillors have brought up recently, that we have, you sometimes can't identify which township events and activities are being held in, and so we might need to investigate a social media strategy to just kind of figure out how we're best utilising our social media to engage with the community.
I'll defer the CEO.
That's noted, and we're already working on that, Peter, so, yep, absolutely.
Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Seconder, Councillor Brooks.
I think Peter's covered my concerns in that social media space, so thank you, Peter. Nothing else to add.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to add? All right, raise of hands, thanks. All those in favour? Thank you. All for, none against. 12.4.1, the Curra Estate Structure Plan Extension of Duration. Officer's recommendation reads that Council 1 authorise the Chief Executive Officer or Delegate to apply to the Department of Planning, Lands and Heritage to extend the duration of Curra Estate Structure Plan for a further 3 years, and 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to affix the common seal of the East Pilbara to the documentation if required. Mover, please. Councillor Werder-Brooks, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Everett. Councillor Werder-Brooks, you wish to speak?
No, nothing to add, thank you.
Councillor Everett?
Yeah, no, nothing to add, thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? Show of hands, those, please. All those in favour? Thank you. Noting that Councillor Chapman is not in the seat, but is carried anyway. 12.4.2, request for a comment, Section 91, Land Administrations Act 1997, application Hanroy Iron Ore Projects Proprietary Limited, Central Pilbara South Proprietary Limited Investigation Studies, where the officer's recommendation reads that Council authorise the Chief Executive Officer to provide a response of no objection to the Department of Planning, Lands and Heritage regarding the Section 91 licence request for Hanroy Iron Ore Projects Proprietary Limited, Central Pilbara South Proprietary Limited Investigation Studies over multiple land parcels as identified on the DPLH tenure map reference dated 1 August 2025. Mover, please. Councillor Werder-Brooks, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Bear. Councillor Werder-Brooks, do you wish to speak?
No, thank you. No, thank you. Nothing to add.
Councillor Bear.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? Put 12.4.2 to the vote, please. All those in favour? Thank you. Noting that Councillor Chapman is not in the seat, it is carried. 12.4.3, the Policy Review Mining Act 1978 policy, where the officer's recommendation reads that Council 1 accepts the review of and adopts the revised Mining Act 1978 policy, Appendix 1. 2, adopts the new delegation 19.2.5, authorisation under Section 121 of the Mining Act 1978, Appendix 2, with an absolute majority decision. A mover, please. Councillor Werder-Brooks, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Everett. Councillor Werder-Brooks, do you wish to speak?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Councillor Everett?
Yeah, nothing to add, thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? Thank you. You shall now go to the vote, please. All those in favour? Thank you. Again, noting that Councillor Chapman is not there, but is carried anyway. 12.4.4, the new policy, Section 91 of the Land Administrations Act 1997 policy. Again, a number of minor corrections have been made to this draft policy, which has been updated in your agendas. Officer's recommendation reads that Council 1 adopts a new Section 91 of the Land Administrations Act 1997 policy, Appendix 1, and 2, adopts a new delegation 19.2.4, authorisation under Section 91 of the Land Administration Act 1997, Appendix 2. Again, an absolute majority decision. A mover, please. Councillor Werder-Brooks, thank you. Councillor Perez, a seconder. Councillor Werder-Brooks, do you wish to speak?
Yes, thank you. This is an excellent opportunity for economic diversification in the region. We have, as PDC, Pilbara Development Commission, has done a major study into native seed collection and development of Indigenous industries in this space. There is nothing onerous in the requirements of Shire and the delegations therein in our recommendations here.
Councillor Werder-Brooks, that's the next item.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I apologise.
Sorry.
If you're using resolve, the resolve's out of order.
The resolve, I am using resolve, yep.
Yeah, I'm also using resolve and got a bit confused, but no, we're at number 4, not number 5.
Sorry to cut you off prematurely. We can go back down the next one.
Was I listening?
Right. Sorry, seconder, Councillor Bear, you got anything for this one?
Is Wendy still happy to first the one that she didn't know she was firsting?
Just let me just have a little, where,
The section
okay,
91.
backwards again, my apologies. We're out of there, come here. Yeah, 4.4 mining, yeah, that's fine.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that is fine. I thought we'd already done that one. We'd snuck that one in and I thought, oh yeah, that one's done.
Cool, thank you.
Apologies.
Councillor Bear, seconder.
Yes. Yeah, I just wanted to cover, we've obviously done a lot of policy reviews today, and I did miss the opportunity, during the members' reports to bring up an item for recommendation. This agenda this month had 755 pages across the agenda and the information bulletin, and I really wanted to acknowledge the amount of excess stuff that's being provided in the information bulletin that's really extending the amount of work and reading that councillors have to do. And I'd really like to see some consistency across all directorates for those information bulletins, that we're getting information that is relevant, but that is written clearly, succinctly, and minimising the amount of work. Because like I said, it was 755 pages, which is definitely not the longest local government agenda. I'm sure that, you know, metropolitan local governments are certainly producing much longer agendas, but for our council, this is a pretty lengthy one. And putting in the number of hours to go through it all was a lot this week. So just trying to minimise how much extra fluff is put into things would be fantastic.
Well, can I just comment, while it's choice of word fluff, I challenge, but the State Council agenda this fortnight is in excess of 950 pages. So I'm with you, Pete. It's a lot of reading, and a lot of it is background context as well, which is also important. But yeah, there's bunches.
We'll take that on board. We are trying to get information you require to make your decisions, though, so we need to be careful that we don't cut out relevant information just because we think it's going into a little bit of detail. But
it's more so the information bulletin, I think, where there's a lot of excess that can be,
we can look at
dialed back.
We can look at that. Absolutely, no worries.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak on this one? Thank you. Absolute majority decision of council. Please bear that in mind. All those in favour, show of hands, thanks. All for and none against is carried. 12.4.5, the new policy, native seed and plant collection policy, where the officer recommendation reads that council adopts a native seed and plant collection policy attached as Appendix 1. Councillor Gordon-Brooks, you wish to move this?
Indeed, I would, please.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
President.
A seconder, please. Councillor Everett, thank you. Councillor Gordon-Brooks, do you wish to speak?
Yep, I shall just briefly reiterate what I'd already said in that letting you all know that the Pilbara Development Commission have done a considerable amount of work on native seed collection and the economic diversity that this industry provides, particularly to Indigenous businesses, which has been the PDC focus. It's an industry that some pastoral businesses have also diversified into, and people who are associated in the pastoral industry have diversified very successfully into this industry. Collection of native seed is vitally important to shore up our the work of the herbarium in Perth, so that we do have readily available native seed available for rehab, and also through our nursery industries. So good economic diversity, and no, the delegations are not onerous for our Shire. So thank you very much for your work on this one.
Thank you. Councillor Everett, seconder.
Nothing further to add to that, thank you.
Anybody else wish to add to this one? Show of hands, please. All those in favour? All for and none against, that is carried. 13.1, the 13.1.1, the minutes of the Audit, Risk and Governance Committee meeting 16 July 2025, where the recommendation reads that council notes the unconfirmed minutes of the ordinary meeting of the Audit Committee held on 16 July 2025 is published on the Shire's website. Move it, please. Councillor Gordon-Brooks, thank you. Seconder. Councillor Lockyer. Councillor Gordon-Brooks, you wish to speak?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Councillor Lockyer. Anybody else? All those in favour, please. Thank you. All for and none against. We're on to 14. Motions of which previous notice has been given is nil. 15 questions by members for which due notice has been given is nil. Item 16, new business of an urgent nature introduced by decision of council. 2 late items have been circulated to council members. Item 16.1, proposed advocacy position rating exemption on miscellaneous licence for ancillary mining activities is a report for council to adopt an advocacy position on WA's government's foreshadowed amendments to the Local Government Act 1995 regarding rating exemptions on miscellaneous licences for ancillary mining activities. And item 16.2, request from Main Roads WA to access Reserve 2804 Nullagine Common for the purpose of realigning, widening and upgrading Marble Bar Road, along with general matters associated with realigning, widening and upgrading of Marble Bar Road. Is a report for council to consider a request from Main Roads WA MRWA for the Shire of East Pilbara to provide access over Reserve 2804 Nullagine Common for the realignment, widening, upgrade of Marble Bar Road. I move that council considers item 16.1 and 16.2 as a new business of an urgent nature, noting that our utmost concerns, I guess, with these items coming so late to council. We feel that should have come well in advance. But that being noted, can I get a seconder, please? Councillor Brooks. Thank you. I don't wish to speak any further. Councillor Brooks, do you wish to speak?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Does any councillor wish to speak? Thank you. All those in favour of bringing these 2 items forward, show of hands, please. All for, thank you, and none against. So 16.1, the proposed advocacy position rating exemptions on miscellaneous licences from ancillary mining activities, where the officer's recommendation reads that council adopts the proposed advocacy position as per Appendix 1 on the foreshadowed amendments to the Local Government Act 1995 regarding rate exemptions on miscellaneous licences for ancillary mining activities. Mover, please. Councillor Everett, thank you. Seconder? Yep, Councillor Bear, thank you. Councillor Everett, you wish to speak?
I just think it's a sensible approach to this matter.
Thank you. Councillor Bear?
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate Councillor Everett's comments that it's sensible, because I think saying that either going one way and saying no, you can't rate it, and going the other way and saying yes, you can rate all of it is not practical. But if we can show and demonstrate that there's a real impact on our council and on our community, then we should absolutely be able to rate it. And while it's hard to see yet whether or not this is going to have any actual impact on the minister's position, I think it's important that we get out and make our position known, especially with I found that Walga's position of just saying, hey, we don't like this, was maybe not the best approach. So I really like this approach and appreciate the work being done on it. But I do want to just acknowledge that the initial statements that were released were back in mid-July, mid-July, and we've kind of known about this for a while. So I would have liked to have seen this come through not as a late item and have come through a little bit earlier, because it doesn't give us a lot of time as councillors to work through all of the complexities of something like this and ask the questions that we need to clarify our understanding. So, just acknowledging that coming through as a late item is never ideal.
Thank you, Councillor Bear. Any other councillors wish to speak?
Yes, I'd just like to comment on the nexus between what Welga are suggesting as an advocacy position and our own advocacy position. This is a conservative position. We are dealing with the matter at hand as a council, and I'm very happy with that approach. The matter is about the miscellaneous licences to mining and the direct effect that they have on this shire, and it has a potential positive effect if we're able to rate in this space for our bottom line. Welga's position is that they would like to review all exemptions to rating. That includes charities, government entities, and any other exemptions, and they'd like a parliamentary review into this matter. I am concerned that a blanket approach is maybe not the way to go, and I'm very happy with this targeted approach, so I would commend the recommendation to you. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else? Excellent. Now put this to the vote, please. All those in favour? Thank you in the chambers. Thank you online. As all for and none against is carried. (16.2) The request from Main Roads at WA to access Reserve 2804 Nullagine Common for the purpose of realigning, widening, upgrading Marble Bar Road along with the general matters associated with realigning, widening and upgrading of Marble Bar Road. Where the recommendation reads that Council grants with respect to the request from Main Roads WA dated 30 May 2025 access Reserve 2804 Nullagine Common for the purpose of realigning, widening and upgrading Marble Bar Road along with the general matters associated with realigning, widening and upgrading Marble Bar Road. Conditional approval to access Reserve 2804 subject to the matters contained within the recommendation of Council report being addressed to the satisfaction of the Chief Executive Officer. Can I please get a mover? Councillor McWhirter-Brooks, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Bear. Councillor McWhirter-Brooks, you wish to speak?
Yes, please. As one of the members of the North Ward directly affecting the ward that I represent, I thank Council and Main Roads for the collaborative approach they've taken to this for the response to the recommendations of councillors with consideration of the community and the assets that we're dealing with, and that's a commendable way to go forward. I recommend the motion.
Thank you. Councillor Bear.
Yeah, I also support the motion, and I think it's going to have positive effects for our community. But just reiterating your comments, Mr. President, that the timeliness of these applications and discussions of Main Roads are not what we want to see as a council. And it's positive to see the flexibility and speed at which the agreements were able to come to following workshops with council last week, but it shouldn't have had to happen that way, and it should have been a more collaborative partnership between Main Roads and the council. And so I'd love to see Main Roads making sure that they come to us well in advance of when they're asking us to make decisions, so that the pressure is not being put on council to make decisions based on urgency as opposed to being based on the ability to take our time and consider the options. And so, yeah, while I support the position, I would just reiterate the commentary on the lateness of this item as well.
Thank you, Councillor Bear. Any other comments? Just got a comment. Thank you to the staff internally for the amount of work that this has involved, but also Main Roads for taking our requests on board, as mentioned, just after deputation. So thank you to all, and it's greatly appreciated and is going to benefit the wider community. So let's put that one to the vote, please. All those in favour? Thank you. All for and none against. That is carried.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Sorry, you wish to speak? Yes, Councillor Chapman?
Yeah, with that road between a man and a creek there, that's always been a problem. I'm talking about the main road. And when it floods, it just, goes for about a week and a week before cars getting across or a full drive. Man in a creek.
Which creek is that? Sorry.
Mount Edgar Creek.
Mount Edgar.
Oh, that's back on Hills Road.
That further up. Yeah, that's further up, Councillor Chapman.
Oh, and
yeah.
That House Creek that crosses.
That's always been a problem.
Yes.
When it floods.
Could I just comment, please, Mr. President? It's are you referring to House Creek that crosses the Marble Bar Road? That creek isn't in the sealed section of the Marble Bar Road that we're discussing. That is the creek that cuts the Marble Bar Road every time it rains. It's called House Creek. It's quite a deep creek. I'm advised by Scott Buckingham, the acting director for the Pilbara for Main Roads, that they now have money in the budget to do the planning works that are required on the unsealed section of the Marble Bar Road. So that last 55 k's for sealing may happen once the planning is done. So that one is clearly in the sights of main roads as well as all of the rest of us. So I just let you know that there is positive news coming there somewhere, Councillor Chapman. Thank you for the liberty.
Thank you for raising that. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Righto, moving on to 17, confidential matters behind closed doors. Council members, may I please have a mover and seconder that item 17.1.1, the proposed lease, McKillop Family Services, and 17.2.2, award of tender RFT 05-2024/25, Newman Wastewater Treatment Plant, be detailed design and construct of the agenda be dealt with behind closed doors in accordance with section 5.232 of the Local Government Act 1995. Mover, please. Councillor Lockyer. Seconder, Councillor McWhirter-Brooks. I shall now put this to the vote. All those in favour, please. Thank you. All for and none against. Please note that the live stream will be paused during the closed session. The decisions made by Council in consideration of these items will be made available to the public following the closed session and will be published within the minutes of the meeting for your information. I thank the members for the public for their attendance and ask you please to leave the chambers in order for the Council to consider confidential matters. The live stream will be paused during the closed session. You're welcome to wait outside in the foyer if you wish and may return to the chambers after Council considers the items. Otherwise, thank you for joining us today. a.m. and the meeting is reopened to the public. Can the government staff please confirm the live streaming has recommenced? Thank you. For the benefit of those watching the live stream and those of you who have returned to the gallery, Council has made the following decisions during the closed session. Item 17.1.1, the proposed lease, MacKillop Family Services recommendation that Council 1 approves the proposed lease between the Shire and MacKillop Family Services for a term of 1 year, commencing on 1 July 2025, with an option for one further term of 1 year from 1 July 2026 in accordance with Section 3.58 Local Government Act 1995. 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to approve the extension of the lease for the further term of 1 year from 1 July 2026. 3, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to approve minor variations in accordance with the minor variation policy. And 4, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to execute the agreement and affix the common seal on behalf of the Shire of East Pilbara, which passed 9-0. We've got 17.2.1, the award of tender RFT 05-2024/25, Newman Wastewater Treatment Plant Detailed Design Construct. Recommendation that Council 1, pursuant to Section 6.20 Local Government Act 1995, authorise the borrowing of an additional amount identified in the confidential Appendix 3 of the report for the purpose of the wastewater treatment plant upgrade, and authorise the Chief Executive Officer to give public notice of the exercise of the power to borrow in accordance with Section 6.202 of the Act. 2, pursuant to Section 6.8 of the Act, adopts the budget amendment identified in the confidential Appendix 3 of the report. 3, awards tender RFT 05-2024/25, Newman Wastewater Treatment Plant Detailed Design and Construct to Gadira O'Connor Proprietary Limited, subject to the Chief Executive Officer being satisfied as to the terms detailed in confidential Appendix 3, and 4, authorise publication of the confidential Appendix 3 following the conclusion of the negotiation of the contract with Gadira O'Connor Proprietary Limited, which again, resolution passed 9-0. These decisions will be incorporated in the minutes of today's meeting and published on the Shire's website for our community and the general public to be confirmed at the 22nd August. That's not right. So it'll be the September ordinary council meeting. October.
3rd of October, isn't it?
Yeah.
3rd of October.
2025. Item 18, the date of the next meeting, which is 3 October 2025, which we just spoke about, which is located in Marble Bar Council Chambers. And at 19, the closure. There being no further business, I now declare the Shire of East Pilbara Ordinary Council meeting of 22 August 2025 closed at 11:39 a.m. And I thank councillors and staff for their attendance. you.